Hi everybody, it is Julie from Pages and Pens, and today I am here with my December wrap-up. Let's jump right into it. In the month of December, I actually read 41 books, I think. Yeah, I officially read 41 books in the month of December. A lot of that was my Santa smut, which you've already seen the vlog for, so I'm not going to go over all of those titles. Just know it accounts for a lot of the books that I read. I also had some readathons, fantasyathon for example, so some of that has already been covered in reading vlogs, but because so much of my reading was in secret TBRs or in reading vlogs, I didn't do my vlog style wrap up like I normally do for the month of December. So I'm going to do an old-fashioned wrap up. We're going to go over everything that I read. I'll break down how many books, 41, the page numbers, which is low for 41 books because obviously some of those like smutty books were really, really short. But I do have a stack of books here next to me that I did physically read that I do need to go over. So we're going to go over that first. And I don't think I have everything right here. Some of it's, I don't know where everything is, honestly. I did redo my shelves after taking away my Christmassy shelves. So now I have like red shelf, TBR shelf, TBR shelf. I tried to organize stuff, guys. It's hit or miss. Anyway, let's start off with my last read of 2019, and that is Scavenged by Tara Sim. Today is the day before New Year's Eve, but I know that I'm not going to finish anything else because I'm getting 4 of my nieces and nephew today into tomorrow for New Year's Eve. So this one is officially my last book of 2019. Scavenged is an arc. It comes out January 7th, and I fell in love with it. I love Tara Sim's writing, and I think I rated this 5 stars, but it's probably a 4.5, but I also think part of that was because I apparently was not familiar with the Count of Monte Cristo, and I thought it was the short story The Cask of Amontillado by Edgar Allan Poe, where like the person gets like bricked behind a wall, and I was waiting for it in this, and I'm like, it's a completely different story, Julie. So I don't know the source material for this the way that I thought that I did, and I am not a learned person apparently because I was very wrong. But I did end up really liking this. We follow Amara and we follow Kaio, and it's just this seaside, very corrupt town. There's gambling dens, there's a lot of violence, a lot of corruption, and it follows these 2 families, or these 2 people from different families that have somewhat similar aligned goals, but also very different approaches to things. And I was so invested in these characters. I really, really love them. I love Tara Sim's writing. I am very happy that this was my last read of the year. I'm also very happy that it was a very diverse read. Tara Sim tends to write very diverse characters, and this is no different. I started off the year with The Wicker King by Kay Ancrum, which was very diverse, and I ended on this one, which was another diverse, amazing author, and I couldn't be happier. So that was fantastic. I also read Wrapped Up for Christmas by Caitlin Duncan. This is the physical, like, paperback, but I read the ebook because it took a while to get this one in. But I really enjoyed this. It was a great Christmas romance, very Hallmarky, and kind of everything that I wanted for the holiday season. So it was perfect for what it was and what I was looking for, and it was a 5-star read. I read Soul in Darkness by Wendy Higgins. This was a part of my fantasyathon vlog, so if you want to know more thoughts, you can check that out. But this was a 4-star read. I really enjoyed. It was about Psyche and Venus and Cupid, and it is very smexy. This is an adult novel by Wendy Higgins, who typically writes YA, but this is one of her indie pubbed books that she put it out on her own, and I really enjoyed it. I will be looking for more from her like indie line for sure. Also for Fantasyathon, I read 2 graphic novels. I read Aquacorn Cove by Katie O'Neill and Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too by Jomny Sun, and I really enjoyed both of them. I think I 4-starred and 5-starred, I think, respectively 4 and 5. But both incredible graphic novels, very diverse and adorable and heartwarming. This one talks a lot about ocean conservation and what we're doing to our world, and this one just talks about what it means to be human and the complexities of the human experience, and it was very heartwarming, and it gave me a lot of feels, and I really, really liked them. I also physically read the Labyrinth graphic novel, which is like it's back on this shelf down here, and I didn't want to take it off, but it was very good. I read 2 Becky Chambers for fantasyathon. I read Record of a Spaceborne Few, which was a 5-star read, and I read To Be Taught If Fortunate, which I believe was also a 5-star read. I love Becky Chambers. This is the last of the Wayfarer series. This one is not related, but it is still space related, just because Becky Chambers does amazing space books. I'm very sad to see this series end. I absolutely loved it, and this one was a lot different. It was very science heavy as opposed to like character driven heavy, but I still really enjoyed it overall. I think that she does a great way of making science accessible. Very, very diverse and beautiful, and I loved them both, and I'm very happy that I've kind of like caught up with her writing at this point. Then I read Frederick Backman's Beartown and Us Against You, and I fell in love with these in a big, big way. I will be reading the rest of Frederick Backman's works. I have gotten a couple of them gifted to me, which are on my TBR shelf, and I will 100% be reading through the rest of his writing because I just absolutely fell in love with it. Very character driven, very studies into small towns, but it's so moving and so beautiful, and the writing is stunning, and the way that he crafts the story is so genius. And I just found a lot to love in these 2 books. I talk about this one in length in like its own little video for my 12 days of giveaways, but I loved this one even more than Beartown, which seems impossible because I raved about this one and like cried about this one. But this follows the same characters that we know from Beartown about 3 weeks after this book ends. And so you immediately pick up with the same characters, which means I'm already super invested. And I already know the characters, I already know the town, and I know, like, I was all in already. So where this one took a little while to kind of get to know the world and the characters and the setting, this one I'm already in, and it just still delivered the same punches. It was beautiful, like absolutely fantastic. I finally got to Chainbreaker by Tara Sim, which was another diverse, amazing historical fiction, like steampunky novel. This is the second of her Timekeeper series. I'm actually reading Firestarter right now, which is the book 3, the final of the trilogy. Again, another Tara Sim that I'd been meaning to get to, that I just adore her writing. It's very diverse, it's very beautiful, and it makes you care about history in a way that I probably wouldn't have otherwise. But this one is, it was aces. I gave it 4 stars. It kind of took a turn from like the original plot that I love so much in Timekeeper, but it added another aspect that I think will come around to be something that I really sink my teeth into in Firestarter. It's just that in Chainbreaker I was still adapting to the switch. And I also read This Mortal Coil by Emily Suvada, which was a post-apocalyptic sci-fi fantasy about zombies and a zombie strain, and I ended up really liking it. I tabbed and annotated a whole bunch of these books, but this is one that I saw a couple people this year DNF, and it just worked for me. I don't read very many post-apocalyptic, I don't read very many zombies, and I thought it was an interesting take. I super enjoyed it. I have book, no, I don't know if you can see it down here. I have the second book right down there that I'm looking forward to getting to in a big way. I also read 10 Blind Dates by Ashley Elston, which is one of my new favorite contemporary reads. This is one that I can see myself reading every Christmas. It's very cute. It's very much centered around a giant family, which I relate to and love. It's one of the things that I love most about like books, especially with contemporaries. It also has a great friend group, which is like part cousins, part like childhood neighbor friend. It's absolutely precious. I loved it so much. I 5-starred it. I think I 4-starred This Mortal Coil. This Mortal Coil Beartown wrapped up for Christmas. Then we get into some of the smuts, which I'm not going to get into here. 10 Blind Dates, Us Against You, Soul in Darkness, Chainbreaker, Record of a Spaceborne Few, Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too, Aquacorn Cove, Labyrinth graphic novel, Scavenged the Stars, more crazy Santa smut, a lot of Santa smut, and then To Be Taught If Fortunate. So 41 books for 3,974 pages. The rest of the books that I did not mention here were smut. So let's see how many I have. Of the 41, 13 were graphic novels or physical books or audiobooks, and 28 were the Santa smuts. It was a really fun reading month. I did have a lot of highly rated books at the end of the year, which I'm very, very happy about. And I found new favorites. I think that for the majority of this year, I really struggled to find books that I really loved, that really spoke to me, and that I felt like I connected with on a soul deep level as a reader and a writer. I absolutely found that in Beartown. 100%. In both of these, just found something that I had been looking for all year, and I'm so glad I finally got to it. I also had an arc that I read after it came out, but I had an arc that finally won with a 5-star read, and actually one that I got to before it comes out that I also really, really loved and think that you guys will too. If you haven't experienced Tara Sims writing, it's just gorgeously diverse, but in a very, like, not a focal point way. It's just diverse because the world is diverse, and it's beautiful, and I love it, and I love her writing very much. So ending the year with 2 of her reads has been fantastic. I'm not mad about my December reading. I'm very happy with it, and I will be coming to you very soon with my end of year stats. So look for those because I'm about to compile a whole lot of information for you. I can't wait to share it. But that's going to be it for my 2019 reading. I can't believe it. I think overall I read about 179 books, and again, that's not including all of the Kindle Unlimited that I read for my multiple vlogs, but I did some reading this year, and I'm very, very happy that A, it's less reading than last year, B, I tried to focus more on, well, no, I want to say I tried to focus more on things that I knew I would love, but I read a ton of arcs that I had no idea about, and I do think that made me mildly slumpy, was just reading so many arcs that ended up not being hits for me, but some of them were. I read some arcs that I will talk about in my wrap-ups that were 5-star amazing books that really changed me and stuck with me, and I think that's really cool too. So overall, a really great reading year. I hope you guys had a great reading year as well. That's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, be sure to give me a big thumbs up, click subscribe, and I'll see all of you in my next one. Bye, guys. I read, oh no, 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 oh no, shit. Okay, cool. Awesome. Love that.